She was excited for a fresh start, a new apartment, a new life. Everything felt normal, at least for the first night. But sometimes the walls of a new home hold old secrets, secrets that don't want to be disturbed. As she settled in, a strange feeling began to creep over her. The silence wasn't peaceful, it was heavy, watchful. Every creak of the floorboards, every flicker of the lights seemed to whisper a warning. She tried to ignore it, telling herself it was just the nerves of being in a new place. But the feeling wouldn't go away. It was as if she wasn't alone, as if someone or something was waiting in the shadows, just beyond the edge of the light. She was starting to realize that moving in was the easy part. Surviving the night would be the real challenge. What secrets are hiding in your walls? The world outside was still waking up, painting the dusty air with soft gray light. I walked into the living room, my body still heavy with sleep, but then I stopped. Something was off. A chair, the one I always push in, was pulled out just a little. My eyes scanned the room, a strange feeling creeping up my spine. Then I saw it. The kitchen cabinet I'd closed last night was now slightly ajar. On the table, a cup sat on the edge, not where I had left it. It was nothing, really, just small, insignificant things. I must be more tired than I thought. I blamed exhaustion, trying to shake off the unsettling feeling that I wasn't alone. But the silence in the apartment felt different now, heavier, like it was holding its breath. The second night, she had to be sure. This time, before going to bed, she checked everything, one by one. She pushed the couch firmly against the wall, making sure there was no space for it to shift. She adjusted the kitchen table until it was perfectly aligned with the floor tiles. Every single cabinet door was closed, latched, and secured. She stood in the middle of the room, her eyes darting around, scanning every object with a deep suspicion. Her breath was heavy, a nervous rhythm in the silent apartment. Finally, she turned off the lights, plunging the room into darkness. This time, she whispered into the void, "Nothing will move." But when she woke up the next morning, things were even worse. The air felt heavy, charged with a silent, unseen energy. As she walked into the living room, her heart pounded against her ribs. It wasn't just a feeling this time. The couch was angled away from the wall, a clear, deliberate shift. The kitchen table had been turned, just enough to be unnerving. A cabinet drawer was pulled wide open, its contents exposed, and the lamp. The lamp was on the floor, not fallen, but pushed. Her hands trembled as she reached out, her touch confirming what her eyes were screaming at her. Was this real? Was she losing her mind? Every object seemed to mock her sanity, silently testifying to a presence she couldn't see but could feel everywhere. What was happening in her own home? Fed up with the chaos, with the feeling of losing her mind, she decided to take control. That evening, as dust settled over the city, she began to set up a test. This wasn't about catching a prankster. This was about proving her own sanity. She moved through the apartment with a quiet, fierce determination. The armchair was aligned perfectly with the geometric pattern on the rug, not a millimeter off. She knelt, placing small, precise pieces of tape around the legs of the coffee table, creating an exact footprint. In the kitchen, a single cup was placed in the center of a hand-drawn circle on the counter. The floor lamp was adjusted until its shadow fell just so. She documented everything, capturing each detail with her phone, her screen filling with a gallery of before shots. Her breathing was the only sound in the room. Tonight, she would finally know the truth. Night falls over the apartment, wrapping it in a profound silence. I walk through the rooms one last time, my heart a steady drum against my ribs. I check the marks I made earlier. The armchair, perfectly aligned with the tape on the floor. The table legs, sitting exactly inside their designated squares. Even the cup on the counter is centered in the circle I drew. Everything is precisely as I left it, untouched. I switch off the lights, plunging the home into a quiet so deep it feels heavy. Lying in bed, my eyes are wide open, staring into the oppressive darkness. The only sound is the distant, rhythmic ticking of a clock, each tick echoing in the void. Then a sound. A faint, soft scraping noise from the living room. I freeze, every muscle tensing. My eyes widen in the dark. My hand clutches the blanket, knuckles white. Someone or something was moving again. The test had failed. The objects had moved again. I crept out of bed, my bare feet cold against the floor. The scraping noise I'd heard, it stopped, then started again. I tiptoed into the living room, using my phone as a dim flashlight. My breath caught in my throat. Everything was wrong. The chair angled away from the rug. The table pushed past the tape I'd so carefully placed. The cup sitting outside its little circle. Even the lamp was tilted, about to fall over. I covered my mouth, trying to stifle a scream, but this time there was something else. Something far more terrifying. Footprints. Small, dusty footprints leading across the floor. They moved from the center of the room, straight toward a dark, shadowy corner. My hand trembled as I reached for the light switch, my heart pounding in my chest. What was waiting for me in the dark? Hello? Is anyone there? My hand is shaking so badly I can barely hold the doorknob. I have to know what's inside. Wait, the door, it's opening on its own. Oh my god, what is this? There's no one in here. It's just furniture. But why? The chair, the lamp, even that little side table, they're all crammed inside the closet. It's like they're hiding from something, like they put themselves in here. This doesn't make any sense. They're moving. I swear they're shifting inside. The shadows, they're getting longer, reaching for me. It's like they're alive. What's happening? I need to get out of here now. The furniture was still that morning. Everything was back in its place as if nothing had ever happened. It was almost peaceful. But when I checked the recording from the night before, my blood ran cold. The video was corrupted, glitching every time an object moved, refusing to show what I saw. I replayed it over and over, trying to make sense of the digital noise. Then, for a single, terrifying frame, the picture cleared. Standing in the hallway right behind me was a dark, shadowy figure, just watching. I dropped the phone, my hands shaking. I could feel its presence even now, a cold spot in the empty hall. I whispered the truth to the morning light. I'm not alone. And this was only the beginning.